do lights tonight because lights are good in here.
Okay.
So for those of you who know me, I'm Jessica's dad, Mike Koehler. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jessica's dad, Mike Koehler. You can call me Jessica's dad, it's okay. Right? Because Hunter still calls me Jessica's dad.
I just called you Mikey.
So what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today is performance. Because is this sport a little bit more mental now that you're a little older than it was when you were kids? Okay? So a lot of times I think we got to get the mental stuff right. But before I get started, let me ask you all a question. Is there something you can do in the next 30 days to screw up your life?
Yeah.
You all agree with that?
Yeah.
Is there something you could do in the next 30 days to make your life better?
Yes.
Yes. So, what I hear you saying, and I'm not putting words in your mouth because that would be unsanitary, okay, is that it's all a matter of choice. You can make a choice to do the wrong thing, you can make the choice to do the right thing. Would you agree with that? So one of the things I do, other than sell tools for the greatest tool company in the world, is I'm also a trainer for a company called Ziglar. I'm one of their legacy certified trainers. This is one of the presentations that we do for companies that I kind of teenage girlized. Because this presentation wouldn't be that good sitting in front of a board of directors the way we did it this way. But it's kind of cool. So who is Zig Ziglar? Anybody know Zig Ziglar? Who Zig Ziglar is? No, none of you. Okay, Zig Ziglar is this little old guy, but what he managed to do is he was the world's greatest motivator. In the course, he's impacted about 250 million people. I mean, that's a pretty big chunk of people. He's done countless speeches, wrote 33 books, done tens of millions of tapes. Like if you took Beyonce and Jay-Z and all the CDs that they sold, add them together and multiply that by 10, that's how much Zig Ziglar sold in his career. Okay, so it's pretty impressive that way. Probably the coolest thing you guys can relate to, he's got about 2.5 million Facebook followers. So I mean that's a few, like when he puts a post out there, or when they put a post out there, it gets a few likes. Would you agree? So, what is performance, or what is true performance? Performance is really the ideal accomplishment of a goal, aspiration, or objective. But there's one little step that goes beyond that. Because could I have a goal or objective that I wanted to accomplish that was good for me and wasn't good for anybody else?
Yes.
Would that be good or bad? So I think that it's accomplishing your goals and objectives that benefits everybody involved. Because one of the things we're doing here is we're a team. And team is, together everyone achieves more. So what is our objective as a team? Get better, win. You know, and when you don't win, the people that beat you, what do you think they got going that you don't have?
Celebration.
Did they do that before or after?
What?
After. So what did they do before?
Oh.
Because they were going to beat us.
So what I did is I put this together in a language that everybody understands. What's a language everybody understands? Besides English. Something's universal. No matter where I went, I can talk this language.
Numbers. Yelling.
Numbers.
I told you.
Okay? Math. So I base the whole thing around math. Because math, it's the same in every country. So here's my math formula. Who's in algebra? You, yes? Okay, who's beyond algebra? Who's done algebra already? A few of you? What are you guys taking in math? Just regular?
We're in Excel.
We're Excel.
Yes.
So you guys have done algebra already, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my algebra problem for you. Because you'll use algebra later in life, even though they tell you you won't, you will. Because isn't that an algebra problem?
Yep.
Okay. So it's attitude times effort times skill equals performance. So how do I increase my performance? So what happens is, my first day, when I walk into practice the first day, I've got a 1 for attitude because I'm kind of not sure. Right? I'm kind of like, I don't know. this is kind of different than last year. I got a 1 for effort because I really don't know what I'm doing. You know, and skill, I really kind of got a 1 there because I really don't know what plays we're going to use. I don't know. So, who can tell me what's 1 times 1 times 1? 1. Simple math. Easy math. So it's 1. So now how do I increase my performance level? What if I could take and work on my attitude? And it's your attitude, not your aptitude, that determines your altitude. That's a Ziglar quote. That's on a fortune cookie you had. Well, and to put attitude into something you guys are probably familiar with, you know, you see those posters all the time on Twitter or Instagram or stuff like that. So, let's look at this formula again. What if I were to increase my attitude? What if I came in now, and I came in and I was a little excited about being at practice. I came in and I was hopeful for the season, I was looking forward to being out there, and I increased my attitude. So now, I brought my attitude from a 1 to a 2. Now, my effort's still the same because it was only the second day of practice, and I'm really not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. But my skill level, we really haven't run any plays yet, so my skill level's still a 1. So what's 2 times 1 times 1?
2.
2. So now, what did I do? Did I double my performance? Okay. And how did I double my performance? What did I change? My attitude. Okay. It says far too many people have no idea what they can do because they've been told what they can't do. And you think about it. Like when you guys played that school over there. I won't mention that, you know, the school over there, the blue school. Were some of you before the game telling each other, man, we're not going to win tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. Did that affect your attitude any?
No, I don't think it affected my attitude.
Okay. Did that affect the amount of effort that some people put in?
Yeah.
Because some people were looking going, well, I ain't going to really try hard because we're not going to win anyway. So what if, you know, in attitude I've got, or effort, I got all kinds of different slides I could put up there. So now, what if I walk into practice the next time, and I decide I'm going to increase my effort? I'm going to dribble a little harder. I'm going to run the drills a little bit harder. I'm going to play a little bit harder. So what happens? I go 2 times 2 times 1. What's the answer? 4. So, if that's 4, what did I do to my performance? I doubled it again. And what did I change? I just put that much more effort in, and I doubled my performance. So if I changed my attitude and my effort, and I doubled my performance, what could I do? Maybe if I took and learned a few skills. Anything worth doing is worth doing poorly until you can learn it to do it well. And you think about when you guys run drills, and think about when you're running plays. Like, your first couple of games when you're running plays, are you all in the wrong places?
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're doing something poorly, learning to do it better. And of course, on Instagram there's probably 1,000 different quotes on stuff like that. But, now, what if I took and doubled my skill? So now here I am, I've got the same attitude, I'm still pumped up, I'm putting in the extra effort, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Now, I start to know the plays a little bit better. I got them memorized. What's 2 times 2 times 2?
8.
8. So what did I do? Double my performance again. Pretty interesting. So now what happens is, who can tell me what a negative integer is?
Negative number.
A negative number. What happens when I multiply a negative number times a positive number?
Negative.
Negative. Will that ever change?
No.
Guaranteed?
Unless you change the positive.
Okay. So the right attitude very wrongly leads to the wrong action. So you think about it. If I have the right attitude and I approach everything with a positive, pumped up attitude, could I end up with a bad result? Probably not. Okay? Sooner or later it's going to turn into a positive result. Okay? So let's look at this. So now if I come in and I got a crappy attitude, and I put my effort in, I put my skill in. What's negative 1 times 1 times 1?
Negative 1.
Okay. What if I came in and I had a really negative attitude, but I still had all the skills and effort and put that stuff in? What's that?
Negative 2.
What about if I put in some effort, but I still had a bad attitude?
Negative 4.
What about if I knew the plays, put in some stuff, and still had a bad attitude?
Negative 8.
So it's never none of that. Now, no way if I had something. What about if I had negatives in the effort? If I had a good attitude and I had a negative effort, I didn't come in and I didn't try. It would still be 1 negative, so that would still be right. So now, my question is, what happens if I have 2 negatives? Two negative integers makes a positive. So what if I showed up and I had a bad attitude and I didn't put in any effort? Would that be a positive? Well, it would, because mathematically it's a positive. Okay? But what would it be a positive? It would be a positive example of being a bad example. Does that make sense? You'd be a good example of being a bad example if you showed up and didn't. And where would you spend most of your time during the game?
Bench.
Would that make sense?
Yes.
You must be willing to do something that you've never done before to get where you've never been before. This is kind of interesting because your sister has that on the back of her hoodie. Yeah. You know, and I was sitting there going like, oh look, they stole a Zig Ziglar quote. That's kind of cool. But you think about it. That stuff, you guys have been using Zig Ziglar stuff probably your whole lives. Your parents have been using it their whole lives, but you don't really realize where it came from. Because I don't think anybody looked at the back of those high school hoodies and said, I wonder who said that. You just assume somebody said it.
I just assume they made it up.
There you go.
There you go, guys. That's awesome.
So now, this is the deal. Right now. Hunter's thinking, and I'm doing this like
Fierce.
thing where I'm figuring out what Hunter's thinking.
Oh.
And she's saying, in her mind right now, what she's saying is, well, how do I, if we can do that, if we can double the performance, and double the performance again, double the performance again, how could we get the thing to 16 instead of 8?
You just gotta like change it to like 4. Or I don't do math. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, think about this for a second. What if I adapted something different? What if I showed up to practice? Not only was I pumped up to be there, but I was pumped up to help everybody else achieve. Could I turn this 2 into a 3?
Yeah.
And if I thought about the team, man, I said, man, this is awesome. Well, what about if I came in and I gave a little extra effort? If I showed up early for practice, stayed late for practice, ran all the drills hard, would that make sense?
Yeah.
Could I turn that into a 3?
Yes.
Now, what about skill level? And I think about this. The skill level, coach's job is to teach you guys plays. Okay? Does everybody want a basketball?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it coach's job to teach you to dribble?
No. Well,
Okay.
Kind of.
You should.
You
You're
should probably already know. But like,
Right, you should already know. But now, if you owned a basketball and you wanted to take and increase your effort and skill, could you dribble at home?
Yes.
Could you take and find some time to maybe go shoot free throws? Could you find some time to do that stuff on your own? So now that would turn that skill level, not only from knowing the plays, but being able to execute the stuff because I got better at all the different parts, into a 3. So, okay, who's the math major? 3 times 3 times 3.
I was just say it.
Oh, man! You stole her thunder. So now, is 27 considerably larger than the 1600 was looking for?
Yeah.
So what do we need to do that? You know, what the deal is tomorrow, when you're not practicing basketball, really what I would say is you should hunt around a little bit and figure out, man, what could I do to take my attitude to the next level and have a super good attitude? What could I do to take and take my effort to the next level? Is there little things that everybody in here knows something they're doing that they could do better? Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Because we said that in the beginning. We all knew some well, so why don't we figure out that stuff and work on that stuff? And what can I do to make my skill set better? You know, I think that that's a big deal. You know, I think that that's the difference, other than, you know, 5 or 6 inches of height that separate you guys between the Granville girls. But, you know, right. What? Yeah. So that's it. That's my thing. Have some donuts and have some
Hands in,
oranges.
Mike, hands
Right.
in, hands in.
There.
Wait, no.
Oh, I don't know how to do that. Not that
Yeah,
hip.
it's okay.
Okay.
Here,
What am I
we'll
doing?
do like,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, we gotta do that.
Guys,
Okay.
Come in. We're all good.
Are they recording you?
Okay, first of all,